good morning. I'm Carol Costello. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be better. That is Jeb Bush's vow going into tonight's debate. He's hired a debate coach who told Jeb to be, in his words, be me. The problem is a McClatchy Marist poll shows the more people hear about Jeb Bush, the more they dislike him. 58% feel that way compared to 32% who say they like Bush more after hearing more about him. This even after Bush changed his campaign slogan to, quote, Jeb can fix it, dropped the Mr. Nice Guy Act, and started talking tough.
I said, if you could go back in time and kill baby Hitler, would you? I need to know.
And crazy.
Hell yeah, I would.
Even if he was really cute.
No, look, you gotta step up, man.
Bush making those comments to the Huffington Post during a swing through New Hampshire. Bush giving that response after being asked what was the most bizarre email he's received at the official campaign account. I know it's kind of a silly question and a silly answer, so maybe it's good the debate tonight will focus on the economy. With me now, Sabrina Schaefer, Executive Director of the Independent Women's Forum, and Eric Fernstrom, who served as Senior Advisor on the Romney 2012 presidential campaign. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. So, Sabrina, if Bush does not perform well tonight, is it time for him to look for an exit?
Well, I'll have to leave that up to his campaign staff, but I definitely think that this is, an important night for him. He definitely does need to step up to the plate and perform in a different manner. I'm not sure I would choose the approach that I suspect he's taking, which is to be a little bit more aggressive towards the other candidates on stage. I think he needs to do a better job at sort of bringing a lot of these complex economic problems back down to the kitchen table level so that people feel like they can trust him, that they understand him, and that he can sort of latch on to that likability factor.
Okay, let's talk about his new slogan then, Jeb can fix it. So, Eric, the Fox Business Network says the debate will focus on the economy. The unemployment rate is 5%, although Mr. Trump says it could be as high as 42%. The Wall Street Journal says that's only true if you include all the teenagers and retirees in the entire country. So how will Jeb and Donald Trump, for that matter, address that?
Well, Carol, not even Hillary Clinton thinks this economy is performing as well as it should be. She says it's walking when we should be running. Wages aren't rising fast enough. People are getting left behind. We also have polling that shows 2/3 of Americans are dissatisfied with the direction of the country. So I think there's a great opportunity here, not only for Donald Trump and Jeb Bush, but all the candidates on the stage at tonight's debate to put forward a plan or a vision that will get this country back on track and get everybody fully participating in the economy and get that economy to reach its full growth potential.
So, Sabrina, in your mind, does any one candidate have a cohesive plan to accomplish that?
I'm not sure, because obviously it's difficult. You have to be able to differentiate yourself from the other candidates up there who all have similar ideas about how to fix the economy. I think it's less important what the specifics are of any of their economic plans than that they're able to sort of empathize and talk to the American public about these issues in a way that resonates with them. No one out there is voting because somebody has one better economic plan or another. Very few voters are thinking that way. What they're looking at and saying is, gosh, it's hard for people to break into the labor market. It's hard for me to move up the economic ladder. Food and goods today are more expensive than they were in the past. I don't have as much, control over my health care spending anymore. This is what people are thinking about, and they want to look for a candidate that kind of connects with them on those issues. That's what's going to be more important than the sort of very, details of their economic policies.
So the moderators say they will pin the candidates down on such questions. Eric, do you think they will?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We've had 3 debates so far, Carol, and so far the fundamentals of this race have not changed. Trump and Carson continue to dominate the field. None of the candidates have been successful in challenging their policy positions. And with respect to Ben Carson, sometimes those policy positions can be perplexing. And with respect to Mr. Trump, those policy positions are at odds oftentimes with the Republican base, which gets me to a larger point, and that is in these campaigns, nothing happens by accident. It has to be made to happen. And the successful candidate, the person who will emerge as the nominee, is the person who can methodically disqualify his opponents while making a strong case for his own candidacy. And on the whole, the establishment candidates have not been able to do that thus far.
All right, I have to leave it there. Sabrina Schaefer, Eric Fernstrom, thanks to both of you.
Thank you.